What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Got one of my grill interviews. I'm a basketball fan. I spend an egregious amount of money in the league or on the seats every year, even though my Pistons is suffering tremendously. I feel like I'm getting robbed. But I got one of my grill interviews here. My dog, Rashad McCants.
Yes, sir.
It's so funny because I'm very thankful for you being here, especially just coming in such short notice. But you've been in the news, man. You've been everywhere, and you know what? And you haven't even been talking like that. You just
I
been
have
chilling.
it. I have it. I have it. I'm a victim, man.
Yeah, I see. I believe that too. And it's funny because I didn't even really want to watch any of the interviews and anything like that because I just like having a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
But forget all of that for right now. What's been happening, big dog? How you feel?
Man, I'm blessed, bro.
Your flight was cool.
Flight was great, man. I just appreciate the accommodations, man. Like it's hard to find.
Anytime you in the city,
Real,
anytime you over this way, you
real
good.
brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna call you no nigga. You know what I'm saying? But brothers,
You can say anything you want
brothers,
on this.
the brothers that know how to do business. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
stand on it and treat you, like business is supposed to be conducted is rare,
Yeah.
special, and I want to tell everybody out there if you ain't, had the pleasure to be interviewed by Anton and his lovely production, man, y'all got to come fuck with him, man, because this is top notch. Detroit is always gonna be Detroit,
I appreciate
but
it, bro.
I'm grateful, man.
Where are you? Because I know you stand out on the West Coast. Where are you currently from?
I'm from North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina.
You went to college in North Carolina too, didn't you?
UNC Tar Heels.
What was it like growing up in North Carolina?
Um, to be honest, man, it's a bit of a blur because I feel like I'm so old.
Do you?
I do. I feel it's just lifetimes. I feel like I've lived already. But growing up in Asheville was similar to any other big city hood. Even though we're a small city,
Mm.
we have our ghettos and our hoods and our good parts, bad parts. Um, but for me personally, it was more like a hippie town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where black folks, white folks, a lot of Russians and Ukrainians and all those was migrating there,
Really?
and yeah, it became a melting pot. So it helped me culturally understand different races and ethnicities and how to get around and move around and prepared me for boarding school. I ended up going to boarding school for 2 years before going to Carolina.
Really?
Yeah,
What was that like?
different. It was college before college.
Hmm.
So I was able to prepare myself for a lot of the accolades and things I got in high school was based on me going to boarding school,
Mm.
focusing on academic, where I had like a 1.3 GPA and I went to boarding school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I ended up being the student of the year 2 years in a row.
Do you think that the change of environment helps younger people? Because even me, I went to a private school. My father sent me to private school for a couple years prior to me kind of really getting my bearings under me, and it changed my perspective towards business, towards life,
Oh yeah.
everything. Do you think that significantly changed the direction of your
You're an
life?
example. You're an example right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
right? Your mindset is not focused on being in the streets. What's the latest bullshit I can get into?
hmm,
It's what's the lick at? Where the bread
yeah,
at? It's a hustler's mindset, right? So going to those boarding schools, those private schools, give you a different incentive from being lethargic and sitting on the couch waiting for something to happen for you. It pushes you to go do something and be a creator instead of a competitor. And I
yeah.
think that that's what happens in the black communities. We compete with each other. We don't create with each other.
Did you always know, or at what age did you realize that you could make the league?
Um, Probably when I was like 13.
Man, that's crazy because Lamar was saying the same thing. Lamar Odom was saying the same thing. He was just saying that at a very early age, he just knew that he was going.
Yep.
Whereas a lot of other guys, it seems like that don't make it, or that I've talked to, that seem like they could have but never made it. It was
Yeah.
almost like they was hoping that they was gonna get there.
Yep.
But you knew that you was gonna make the league earlier.
Man, it was watching the McDonald's All American game with my mom one day. I think this was the Darnell Harvey, Jonathan Bender era,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember saying to her, "I'm gonna be on this. I'm gonna be on this, and then we're gonna go to the
Mm.
NBA." And that was like 11 and a half, maybe 12 years old.
Yeah.
My dad always had me play up, So I was never playing with my
Age
age group.
range.
Never. I was 12 playing with 25-year-olds. So it gives you an incentive when you can fit in with 25-year-olds at 12, 13. You start measuring up your competition
Mm-hmm.
in your own age group, and you say, all right, they can't fuck with me at all.
Mm.
And then all you need is one person to tell you, hey, man, you could go to the league.
Yeah.
And you ain't even thinking about it. Like as kids back then, we wasn't thinking about no NBA, no money, no nothing. It was just, how can I be better than Michael Jordan?
Mm.
I want to be like Mike. I want them to be like me. I want them saying that in my name with
Yeah.
that. And to be thinking about that at 12 is different. We're rare. We're unicorns. The
Mm-hmm.
guys like Lamar and I, guys like Tim Thomas, Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
You know, either we pan out or we don't, but we all got the same mindset.
Yep.
We're all stuck in this loop of greatness that we want to achieve, and we got to go after all the time. But it never really always pans out in our favor because there's so many obstacles to overcome.
As you're growing and you on that trajectory, right? Because obviously, as you get older, it starts to get to the point to where you start to realize, yeah, I'm a make it into the league, right?
Yep.
Is it a kind of like a come to Jesus moment where, because you were playing up, right?
Yep.
And it was similar to what Lamar was talking about because he was over in New York, I believe,
Yep.
if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And did it start to get to a point to where you start seeing competition that was similar to you as you was going up? You know what I'm saying? Whether it be in college or high school or any of that space. When did you start to realize that there's other guys out here that's just as good as me?
Immediately.
Really?
Like the AAU circuit.
Yeah.
Because back then, it's like if you wasn't introduced to the AAU circuit, you really wasn't that good of a player.
Mm-hmm.
You were hidden. You was in a small town. You really didn't have access to it. So for me, I was in a more local team that spanned it out to give us like state opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
going against everybody who was good in the state. Then we went to the Youth Basketball of America, which was YBOA. And that AAU circuit opened you up to nationals, right? Where Detroit, the family,
Yeah.
we played against those guys
Yeah,
and seen that
yeah.
talent, Lester Abrams and all those type of guys, CDR, Chris Douglas Roberts, all those type of guys, and you get exposed to things that you never thought were in your realm. So you was like, damn, this guy's good. This guy's good. He's from Texas, from New York. Then you get to measure up against them.
Yeah.
So when you first get to measure up against how good you are based on everybody else in the country, you start seeing things that they do that they can't, like that
Yeah.
they can't do what you do.
Yeah.
So you're like, yo, wait, you ain't really that good.
Mm-hmm.
So then you start measuring up, you start performing against them, and they start seeing it. They start giving you respect. They start knowing your name when you walk in the gym. And when that happens, it's a domino effect of just like power. It's an ultimate power shift. And not a lot of people get it or see it, but you see it with LeBron, you see it with KD.
Yeah.
You see it with, Kobe, T-Mac. When niggas walk in the room, you like, oh, that's a hooper right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hooper right there.
Is it a like when you in college, right? Because obviously it was a time where it seemed like it started to be a transition where they started to have guys go straight from high school, and obviously the LeBron era
Mm-hmm.
was basically the end of that. Once he came from high school and he went straight to the league. But when you were in college, was it like a fame thing that started to kick in that was a little bit more bigger than what you was when you were growing up? And how did you handle it, or how do a lot of guys handle the fame or the visibility that comes with kind of being more noticeable once you start to get into college and people start to realize that you're going into the league?
Yeah, it's the McDonald's All-American game.
Really?
That's your first culture shock of fame.
Yeah.
Because before that, it's just the high school rankings,
Mhm.
right? It's the ladder that you're trying to get on, where you rank. And once people start seeing where you rank, you're top 10, top 25, they start noticing you in the basketball world when you're walking out. But once you're in college, and I remember this day very distinctly, we was doing Midnight Madness. It was our freshman year, Midnight Madness, where we come out and everybody is being introduced to the campus, so to
Yeah.
say. And we were being introduced, and I had my own little thing that I did, which was the X. And and I remember they called my name, and I was kind of standing in one of those where the stairs come down from the gymnasium. You go down to the court, and I was standing in one of those, and they was waiting for them to say my name, and I threw my X up, and I heard the crowd.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want to talk about a dopamine? Think about all these girls and how they deal with attention.
Hmm.
That probably would have been every athlete's moment of dealing with something you've never dealt with before. Like
Yeah.
if you were the cool kid in high school, you ain't never felt this cool before.
Hmm.
And then you take that and walk around campus, and everybody want to get your autograph.
How do you deal with that though? Like,
Man,
cause you so young, and obviously in hindsight, you look at it and you replay it in your mind, and it's a different conversation. But how do you deal with that level of visibility at such a young age like that though, right? You 18,
yeah,
19 years
yeah.
old.
It's a process. It's not even a dealing with it. It's a as it comes, figure out how to not be rude,
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to be personable, figure out how not to let people get inside of your comfort zones.
Mm.
But this is at 18, like you said.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
don't know any of that terminology. You don't know those words. You don't know what to put together to be like, hey man, I'm eating right now, or I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom. Really and honestly, you love it because you've never gotten this type of admiration before.
Yeah,
Like somebody coming up to you like, "Oh man, you're my favorite player. I love the last game." It's just like the excitement from them gives you excitement.
yeah.
And if you're a real competitor, it gets you right in the gym.
What about because now obviously we got, because Brandon Jennings, obviously, I followed his path because, of course, he was a Piston at one point, and I was
Hmm.
even following his path over in Milwaukee and stuff like that. Um, the players is basically getting paid in college now,
Yep.
whereas back then, that wasn't necessarily the case, and you had the NCAA and all of that other type of stuff. What do you think about that? What do you think about players in college now making the monies that they making and getting the visibility and all of that now, whereas back then it wasn't any of that really, or it wasn't any of that visibly above board or anything like that.
Well, for those out there who don't know, I fought big and heavy for the name, image, likeness for athletes,
Yep.
and I also fought for sports education reform, which is surrounding your question is how is it that these kids get paid? How beneficial is it? And me personally, I didn't want them to get paid without the ultimate benefit of
Hmm.
learning how to manage the money,
Yeah.
right? And having courses to deal with sports that are on the same alignment with
Yep.
business school,
Hmm.
medical school, law school, right? These are three industries. Where's the sports school? Where's
Hmm.
the school of sports? So I created a school of sports for a lot of the different elements of the universities and how they can actually teach athletes how to manage money, how to go into sports management, how to go into sports medicine, all of these different elements that deal with the industry.
Hmm.
Because when as athletes we go into a university, we want to hoop,
Yeah.
and that's all we want to do.
Yep.
But you push us in these classes, and it forces us to have to be academically advanced in things that we're not here for.
How do y'all balance that though? Like, what's the point of going to class when you know you're going to the league?
Exactly. And that's why you've seen them cheating for so many years. It's
Yeah.
because the attention for the actual athlete is not on academics.
Got you.
And there are some like myself. I came in with 1100 at SAT. I could have went to any
Really?
university I wanted to,
Wow.
and I chose that because I was chasing greatness. But when I got there, it was like we didn't have to do no work. We didn't have to do the shit that I worked hard for to get
Hmm.
here, right? So I pride myself on being a student. But once you get into the realm of it, they don't want you to be a student,
They want you to be an athlete.
right? So in my book, I talk about why don't you pay us like we're athletes and give us performance based requirements,
Yeah.
right? So don't have us academically based requirements when we're not here for academics. Have us here with the requirement what we're here for. And
Yeah.
I think when you have that aspect of it, you look at all the athletes being a lot more smarter, more intelligent, more articulate on the avenues of their industry.
Yeah.
We got more Shaqs and we got more, Charles Barkley's and guys that could talk analytics of the sport, but also maybe some money managers, maybe some trainers, some physical trainers, fitness trainers, and stuff like that. We haven't built that platform for athletes yet, so I feel like once we do throughout this NIL, this college experience that I fought so diligently for,
Hmm.
it can help help people understand how much the education is needed more than the money. Because now you're just throwing money at these
Yeah.
kids. They're going straight to the bank and they're giving it back to the people who gave it to them.
Yep.
So
All day long.
we know what that looks like when we're talking about the black community.
Yep.
Hey, dangle this carrot. Come over here and get this millions and millions and millions of dollars. We know exactly what you're going to do with it because you don't have no structure.
When you got drafted, because I know you talked about that euphoric moment being at the McDonald's All-American game. Was it because that was your first taste?
Yeah.
But then when you got drafted, what did it feel like to get called and to get drafted? Because that's pretty much every kid that had never grew up in any environment, in the hood, suburbs, or whatever. You know, that's the moment to see your name get called. That's the dream. What did that feel like?
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare?
Nightmare.
Why you say that?
Because it didn't happen the way you just explained it.
Why you say that?
Because it was supposed to happen that way. It's supposed to be the dream come true. Walk on the stage, take the hat, put it on,
Yeah.
smile big. Mama, I made it. My particular instance was the first time in 20 years David Stern had ever fucked up.
I didn't know that.
On my day. So when I got drafted 14th, I wasn't supposed to get drafted 14th. I was a top 3 pick, but I slid all the way down to 14.
Why? Why did you slide to 14?
I was presented as a uncoachable player.
So before you go into that, do you think that because I had this argument the other day, and I was telling my guy that I think that the NBA is completely rigged. Completely rigged.
All the way.
And he said, why you say that? I said, well, you know, Victor Wembanyama, like how could he fall into San Antonio, right? How is that possible? How did LeBron James fall into Cleveland? Like it doesn't seem logical, right?
Right.
And so considering that, the politics, the marketing, and everything involved, do you think that was purposeful that you actually fell to 14 versus being drafted at the time or being projected to go where you were supposed to go?
Well, you look at the rigged side of it, what you're talking about. At that particular moment, Portland had the 3rd pick.
Okay.
And it was between myself, Nate Robinson, and Martell Webster.
Uh-huh.
Martell Webster was an Oregon guy, Washington guy, Seattle guy. So was Nate Robinson. I'm a North Carolina guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense for the fans, for the
North
crowd,
Carolina all day long.
It would make sense for them to draft me to Portland when I'm not gonna carry my fan base there.
Yeah.
Because it's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Their fan bases are right there in the city.
Yeah,
it
that
made
makes sense
for them, right? So when you talk about rigged, everyone kind of knew when everyone placed all the cards on the table who was gonna go where based on their needs and what they wanted. So me going 14th and me going on that stage, I'm feeling good, but I'm disappointed at the same time. But then I get on stage and David Stern is looking this way, as if he didn't just call my name, as if he didn't, it's not my day. This is my day I've been waiting for. And I had to tap him on the shoulder because he wasn't paying attention. And it was one of the more
crazy.
It was the more iconic moments in sports.
Now you about to make me go back and re-look at that.
Oh yeah, 2005 draft, and this was one of the rare moments. Stephen A. Smith said a lot of good stuff about me leading up to it, and he was actually mad because I had slipped so far. He was like, he's a champion.
Yeah,
he led the all this kind of stuff, and for David Stern to be turned around, I had to tap him on the shoulder on my moment.
Mm-hmm.
He never messed up 21 years of doing the draft until that day.
Okay, so comparing David Stern to Adam Silver, because Adam Silver is largely, I don't know if you want to say marketed or seen by, he's seen as more of a player-friendly person versus a David Stern, right?
Right.
When you compare the two, what do you think about Adam Silver versus a David Stern?
Soft.
Adam Silver?
Yeah. On some punk shit.
Really?
He's the punk version. he's like the feminine version of David Stern.
Yeah.
And that's how it looked when he came in. It was just like, he don't look
stern. He looked frail.
He don't look stern at all.
Yeah.
He looked a little flimsy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like his handshakes are soft and shit. So I ain't like the transition, and then it just popped out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Obama came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, who is this? Adam Silver, where he come from?
Yeah.
Well, he's been grooming for this situation. So the league has become the league it is today based on who they gave it over to. That's why the league is soft. That's why we're seeing reviews. We're seeing a bunch of shit that makes the game watered down.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it. I don't like the transition. Even to the point to where I was telling her, I said, "Yo, I don't even know if I want to renew for next year because I pay a lot of money for my seats, right?
Yep.
Every single year." But it just seemed it's almost like the more I know and the more I learn, the more I realize that it seemed like it's just completely marketed and it's rigged,
Oh yeah.
right? So with that being said, though, okay, so you get drafted, and you played between Minnesota and Sacramento.
Yep.
Were you knowing what you know now, the different cultures from the different teams? Obviously, you got the Miami Heat. At the time, you had the Detroit Pistons and all of
Hmm.
those different places. And, obviously, LA is LA and New York is New York. But playing over there, what was it like?
In Minnesota,
Yeah.
um, the city was amazing.
I went to Minnesota one time. It I thought it was cold here. It's cold.
Cold.
Yo, it's so cold in Minnesota that I didn't realize that the downtown buildings is all connected so that you didn't have
Yeah,
to
you
walk
walk to
outside.
this. Yeah, you walk to
That's
the truck.
crazy.
Cold as fuck, boy. What?
That is crazy over there.
Freezing,
But
freezing
you was over in Minnesota.
from day one.
What
We
was the fans like over
outside.
there?
We outside day one. Rookie drafted next day outside. I got my check. I can go spend some bread. I believe. I believe. Yeah, 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 yeah.
What was your do you remember what your first check was?
I
Like, do you
never,
remember?
never looked.
Really?
Never. To this day, I probably don't even know how much money I ever really truly had because I just knew I had money.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck. It's like I coming from where I come from.
Yeah.
It was like I could just spend. I ain't gotta look at it. But I was never an overspender. Like I'm just going to buy a bunch of shit. It was just like if I needed to go somewhere,
hmm
I ain't gotta look twice.
I was reading that you can structure how you get your paycheck, like whether
Yeah,
you want to get it every month, every
yeah,
2 weeks.
yeah.
Because I read that, and the only reason I got curious about it is because I had read that Kobe got it like one check a year or
Yep,
something like that. You
yep,
can set it up like
yep.
that?
You can set it up where you get your check at the end. You can set it up. You get it month to month, week to week, game to game.
Really?
Yep, yep. It's
How
just,
does the players talk about money in the locker room? And that do they talk about money not just on some stunt and type stuff, but do they talk about it on some like, because like your OGs or I know that the rookies and everything
mm-hmm.
like that, and of course you got the rookie symposium or whatever. Do they talk to y'all or do they talk about money inside of the locker room as far as the players with each other, or is it all just primarily about basketball?
I mean, I've never been in the locker room where guys are talking about investments or things that they could do together.
Mm.
Never. And even heard of guys even bragging about it. But I think now with the Warriors being like Draymond, Andre, Steph Clay,
hmm
Silicon Valley, opportunities, stuff like that,
Yeah,
it's different. And I
yeah,
can only say it for that select group because those guys played enough together to take advantage of that
for a
market.
long time.
Right.
Yeah,
And so outside of them, I don't even see guys doing business at that rate, like the James Hardens and the LeBrons and those type of guys. They do business, but you look at 300 guys in the league, and y'all all not doing no business together.
yeah. I always was curious about that. Like, is that a conversation
Nah,
that happens in the locker room?
not as much as you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
Seeing that you got all this money in one place and y'all not doing nothing together, like LA, there ain't no like player-owned facilities. Guys haven't
Mm.
collaborated and opened up facilities where we can all just go and do our thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can be done, but I never made the type of money that warrant me to go do things and put things in action. So I've always been the visual creator.
Yeah.
I could draw up the business plan, draw up what the concept looked like. But when you hand it off to a nigga and it's like, yo, check out, and they look at me like, man, you a nigga,
Yeah.
you ain't never did nothing business at this level before. But then I go to my white boys and they like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
when can we start when can
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
start here?
Yeah.
And it's like, as much as we want to uplift our people, we need to get the attention of our people first and entice that side so that we can build.
What do you buy at how old were you? 20, 20, 21?
21.
What do you buy at 21 years old when you first get money?
First thing I bought was a whip. And then the second thing I bought was a crib for my mom's.
Back home?
Yep. After that, it was like I said, it's convenience. It
Yeah.
wasn't no splurging, wasn't no chains and all that kind of stuff. It was more clothes because I was into having my own. So I went to the custom route. Um, global gangsters in Chicago helped me do some fitted custom stuff, and I got into my own branding.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of those things I started to understand early on, like my rookie year, my second year, that if you could establish yourself as an entrepreneur, the league warrants a respect for you because it's a mature sign.
Yeah.
You're maturing early. You understand business. You understand branding. But at the same time, they look at you crazy because you're giving too much information on how to be independent. So
Because they want you to be a player. They don't want you to
they
necessarily
want you to be a slave
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Now players second. Players come play and make us money, but the slave is understand what we're trying to tell you to do,
Yeah.
and so that you can go out there and do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, so I got another question. Let me pivot for a minute. This is the question that all of the fellas want to know. I asked my guys that's in my circle. I said, of all of the questions that y'all want to know when I get Rashad in there, what do y'all want to know? They said they want to know about the hoes.
Yeah,
And
the work.
so, okay, so the lifestyle, right? Because I know in certain industries, and I've been around enough people to where in a lot of instances I see some of the same women.
Yep.
All over, no matter what city you go to, you see the same women. They know the parties, they know the events, they know all of that, right?
Yeah.
So when you get drafted and stuff like that, and obviously, y'all traveling city to city, and you got home games and stuff like that. Do they know what hotel y'all gonna be at? Do they know all of that?
Everything, stats.
Stats? What you
Stats.
mean? They know y'all stats?
Stats.
That's crazy.
They know your
bro.
stats on top of your stats. They know what jean size you wear.
They studying y'all like that?
Yeah, Google.
That's crazy, bro.
Google. It's amazing, bro. Like, I always wanted to be on this type of couch talking about the work
Yeah.
because the whole red pill phenomenon that's happening with men right now is they're getting all their information from guys that are not in this stratosphere, which is the high value man stratosphere, which means 6'3" and up,
Yep.
6 figures and up,
Yep.
your fame, fortune, all that stuff. This is what women consider high value now.
Absolutely.
So they're not having conversations with real high value men, the men that the women out there really want.
Chasing.
They want the athlete, entertainer, rapper, baller. So if you're not that, the advice you're giving to the regular guy is not real advice because you're not giving him advice from our perspective.
So it's almost like somebody trying to tell you how to play ball, but they're not actually going to the NBA player to get the insight.
They're going to a high school dude that used to play high school, but he know a little bit.
Yeah, I got you.
Right? So he don't know the ins and outs of why those females are looking at us and they're not looking at y'all. Why they would jump on a plane just like that with us, and we can be assholes. Don't even fucking matter, because it's the status that they want. It's the value that they want behind that. So when you talk about work, you talk about groupies, you talk about all of these things, and I deem the term work to be, replacing everything. Slut, hoe, bitch, all
Yeah, I
that.
got you.
Work. We call it the work. So now women are going to be able to figure out whether they fit into the work pool or not, because it's encompassing now. Is, do you act like a wife? Do you act like a queen, or are you the work?
All right, so I got a lot of questions. We got to stay here for a minute. I got a lot of questions because honestly, this is what I always get insight from the people, and this is all you. So I'm just here as a student of the game. I'm learning.
We're gonna learn
I'm
you.
observing.
We're gonna learn you
right?
today.
So let's start from college, right? What's the difference between the way that the women are operating in college versus when you get into the league?
They're preparing themselves to be groupies.
In college?
In college. Because you get a taste of what we do in college, which is that amateur level of fame, amateur level of thrill. They get to see us after the game, see us at the bars. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So we get the first taste of groupieism in college, and so does the groupies. They've never had to be admiring anyone outside of the people they've seen on TV.
Yeah.
Now they get to touch the guy that everyone's screaming over. That transitions from when I remember the pussy I was getting in college is different than the pussy I was getting in the NBA, simply because the rate that rises is the fact that they want that which has money.
Mm.
College is like you don't got no pockets.
Yeah, they just there because it's for the clout. It's the
That's
visibility.
it. It's a
Yeah.
clout play, right? But when it get to the league, it don't matter.
Mm.
Ugly or not. I remember when LeBron had came into the league, he was like, LeBron is an ugly motherfucker, boy. God damn, who them hoes ain't throwing that man that pussy like that. And
Yeah.
then he was the number one pussy.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
was,
yeah.
and it was like, why? Like he just signed a $90 million.
Yeah.
He can make himself look good just by just doing this with the money. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
we started realizing how the money enhanced that experience from college to pro.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I first touched down in the league and I had my bread, it was straight to the club, post up, set up shop, let them know we here.
Mm.
Every club, every night that there was a place to go, set up shop, because in college we did the same thing, but we didn't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
And we could walk straight into the club, had to wait in no lines, and none of that, free drinks, all of that. So you get a taste of VIP before you get there. It's just that before you didn't have to pay for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything's paid for just because they expect you to have it.
Yeah.
So the chick's gonna come. It's like, I don't know where he stay. I know it's gonna be nice. I don't know where he stay. He's an NBA. Look at his car. It's got to be a nice house. You know what I'm saying? So the work, when it comes from college to pro, is like just like it is in the sport. They go from amateur to pros.
Is it possible for overwhelming majority of these guys? Because, all right, obviously I'm not gonna say no names, and I know some of the players on the Pistons or whatever, but it's interesting because when some of them gets drafted, they got their high school, college sweetheart, and all this other type of stuff, right? And they look like they about to get married and stuff. Is it possible for these young guys that wind up getting into the league to actually stay faithful?
Stay faithful?
Yeah.
No. Any man with options is not. That's not our nature. Is to be faithful.
Yeah.
But if you a man down on your luck and you trying to, you have to be. You have to be faithful. Think about it. You down on your luck and and the bitch come through and swoop you up. Now I can say this because I've been there.
Yeah.
I can say this when I've been there. Man, I lost everything in COVID. Bitch came through, scooped me up. You know what I'm saying? She there. You know what I'm saying? You got that. But it's like when you got it, you ain't got to really worry about none of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's out the window. You're the prize.
Yeah.
And when you the prize, like it's hard for the other guys and the other females to understand why you are in such a demand. You can actually control the narrative in any conversation with a female because, hey, I'm the prize.
Yeah.
What you talking about? Oh, them the type of niggas you fucking with? They wanna be me.
Yeah.
They line up like, hey man, you want to take these niggas be taking selfies in the motherfucking airport, all this shit. This your nigga. This your nigga.
Yeah, that's your man.
That's
taking
your
a selfie
man,
with me.
right?
Yeah.
And the same chick will try to give you the rundown like you got to work for something. It's like you a pedestrian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You a civilian. Like move around. Like we are on this planet as iconic figures in this particular society.
Yep.
To be seen as the breadwinners. We are the old school, ancient gladiators, right? So we are the most important topics when it comes down to what the society sees. But a lot of times that shit gets oversaturated because the guys that they're looking at are simps, they punks, they pussies. And now they're putting these guys and they're saying they high value men, but they lost the G code. There's some player shit that came along with this shit. And that has been lost because now, that's why I call it the work. You out here marrying the work, you're kissing the work, you're paying for the work, you're doing shit that's fucking up the market. The market don't cause for you to pay for nothing.
It doesn't.
It only costs to be the boss. Yep. That's the only thing it costs for. It could pay the cost to be the boss. So if you ain't the boss, you one of them niggas that's in the club taking pictures of us boss up. We bossing up. So for these females and these dudes that's out here simping for these females, they got to understand, man, you got to let the work work. They here to work. And this is not for females to think that we're generalizing you to be a specific way. There are women, there are wives, and then there's work. Those are the 3 W's. Women, wives, work.
You know you about to go viral on
I'm
that,
just
right?
saying. I'm just saying. If you ain't a wife, you can be an independent woman. You can be a single woman, single parent woman, but it's your behavior.
Do you okay? So wait up. Let's back up for a minute, right? Because obviously, it's guys that be getting married that's in the league still. Why do they get married? Considering what they dealing with and what they see.
Sound like you talking about the Joe Smith shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in a general sense, well, I kind of feel bad for Joe. I don't feel bad because it's a self inflicted wound,
absolutely.
right? But then at the same time, it seemed like the stuff that she doing right now, that
She
is
has
wow,
she has
bro.
the power now. She had a power shift. The power shift changed because he knew what he was getting. And the reason he got what he got, and I spoke about this on another pod, is we as breadwinner, alpha,
Hmm.
like we the guys,
Yeah.
icons. We looking at girls and women who are available for us that have the same type of lifestyle,
Hmm.
which is usually strippers,
Yep.
pros, OnlyFans girls.
Hmm.
They ain't got no schedule. They can be available from
Whenever.
12 to
Yep.
12 to 12.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And so for a guy like Joe, it's not necessarily like he picked something bad. He picked something that was right up his alley as far as availability, comfort. I ain't got to worry. She know I'm a hoe too.
Hmm.
I'm a hoe. She a hoe. We
But
hoes
it ain't the
together.
same though. It
It's
ain't the
not
same
because
though.
there's just a respect level.
Yeah.
She had no respect for the fact that he picked her not to embarrass him. Cause I know your past, you know my past.
Hmm.
Hey, I ain't got the money like you think, woo, woo, but for you to embarrass me and
Oh.
use that as a way to embarrass me, that is an example of never married the work. You gotta understand what the work is there for. You can be with the work all your life, but to marry her and to make her a wife, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment.
Why do these women? Because okay, so these chicks as wives of most professional athletes, not just NBA players, but most professional athletes, they know what happened,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So it's almost like they should be expected for knowing how their man is moving out here in these streets. Is that the sentiment, or is it always still a situation where you seeing guys falling into this space where they getting caught up? They still getting caught up, especially guys that's currently in the league. Like I look at a lot of these younger guys that's getting drafted, right? And they getting drafted at 18, 19 years old, 20, 21 years old, and all of this other type of stuff, right? And I was paying attention to what was happening to Zion,
Yep,
and
yep.
you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff that was happening to them. How do you find yourself to where you don't? Because with social media is way different now today. How you find yourself in a space to where a chick ain't showing all of your DMs, or she ain't putting your business out there, or she ain't taking pictures or whatever when you sleep or something like that? How do you avoid that? Is it
Easy.
possible?
Easy.
How?
Find them, fuck them, forget them.
Mm. The three F's.
Cause you fucking around with fire,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you start promising shit to these females: commitment, trust, loyalty, all of these things. You start talking, pillow talking, and giving them what they want because the tables have turned. Usually, it used to be us cheating
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have the social media, so we can go cheat in peace. We didn't have
Right.
to worry about getting caught because ain't no way she gonna know about her.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 joints over here in Wisconsin. I got 2 in Detroit. I got 1 in New York. Social media catches you up. So now what's happening is the females have become the males in that scenario where they got 3, 4 niggas that they fucking with,
Yeah.
and you thinking that you the player, but they the player now. So when you getting caught up with this whole cheating word, right? As a young guy
Yeah.
in the league, and you're dealing with a chick, and she's saying, "Oh, you always cheating on me." Ain't no such thing as cheating with men.
Mm-hmm.
It's options and what you doing for me and what you not doing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you talking too loud? Don't you know I got a bitch that don't say nothing? Passport bros,
Yeah,
right? Huh?
yeah.
If you ain't never been overseas, if y'all niggas ain't never been overseas, they got them over there for cheap.
Yeah.
They don't say nothing. They
Yep.
rub your feet. Huh? They cook the meals.
Mm-hmm.
They let you watch the fucking game in peace.
Yeah.
But we stuck in this society where we think that the bad bitch is gonna be the good bitch for us. The bad bitch is exactly what it is. She bad.
Yeah.
She bad. Just like the Brittany Renner. Like
Mhm.
Brittany bad. But Brittany need a nigga like that's a former athlete nigga to get her. Because she's too old for a young nigga. She needs a former guy because she still wants to be a part of a lifestyle. She still
Yeah.
wants something, but she needs somebody to handle her that can give her understanding.
Mhm.
And a lot of these women are getting there tidbits from women like her and Corinne Steffens and Young Miami and Cardi B, but these aren't typical wife types.
Yeah.
Right? They're typical work types. So if you got different types of women who fit different categories, and all of these women are looking at them as their pride and joy, it's like, damn, y'all all preparing the next 30 years to be work related. All the work related. It's like how we get. I don't want my daughter in the workforce. I don't want her in the workforce. Get your daughters out the workforce, and it's coming from the mama. If your mama out there working, you gonna be out there working. OnlyFans, bro.
Is it possible for a chick to not get turned out that wind up getting with a athlete?
Turned out?
Not okay. When I say turned out, for example, is it possible for her to ever go back to a regular type of dude after she done been in that lifestyle?
It is possible after 35. A lot of the 35-year-olds find themselves dwindling backwards.
Yeah.
For the regular guy, and the regular guy, there's nothing wrong with a regular guy.
Yeah.
They just won't. It's just like the.
They
trauma.
can't unsee what they saw though.
They can't. That's the trauma bond. The trauma bond about what they seen was this lavish life that's attached to negativity, perception. We know you a hoe. We know you a groupie. Look who you with. You was with that table yesterday. You with this table today, right? But you gonna forget all that because you living a good life. Now you get 35. It's like you can't unsee the fact that you was living with Deshaun Watson and you partying with with Tyga and them, and you meet a regular guy who does construction down the street. He ain't never. And this, I had a situation that I had to talk a female law. She's married and her husband was like a lawyer or something, but she just didn't accept the fact that he was regular, and she used to be with a lot of big high profile.
Yeah.
And she told him, and didn't expect him to get jealous.
And she told him what?
Who she used to deal with.
No.
You can't do that to no regular dude, right? And it fucks up the market because now she knows she can do better.
How didn't he know though?
He didn't care. She was the prize to him.
Yo, Rashad, let me tell you something, bro. We know who's who, when, where, why, and how. Like, you ain't even gotta be. I mean, any level of visibility, you gonna get some. You gonna be in the scene, right? And I ain't gotta ask a chick who she been with. I know that she done been around.
You know she fine.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know what your background is. I know you in the same spot that I'm in. I see you here. You was here last week, and you here when the new. You know what I'm saying? I know what you are, right? So I don't know how he don't know.
He know.
Why he marry her then, bro?
Because she bad.
Nah, she ain't that
Think
bad.
about her.
It's always another bad chick.
What is he saying to his homies?
It's always another bad. It's bad ones everywhere.
But if they everywhere and ain't none of them good, right? He's just sweeping.
That's why you don't marry him.
Exactly. He's sweeping through and he's like, yeah, this is my wife. And then there's 3 other niggas that walk in. It's like, that's your what?
Wow.
Oh, man. You know what we used to call her?
Yeah.
Jawbone. Yeah, we used to call her Jawbone. Yeah, she used to. Man. And that's the fear. Even now to this day, I used to get so much work in the league that a lot of these niggas done married to work. And they with the work, the same work that we used to take, be there 3 a.m. call, 2 a.m. call, come through, bad. That's they wives. So when a nigga like me come into the room now, they get to scrambling and breathing deep and go. I gotta go to the bathroom, baby. I'll be right back. Like I can't tell the homie what's because it's in the past.
Yeah.
But man, I done had contracts taken away based on who I was fucking with.
Really?
Yeah.
Politics?
Seriously? Man, you can't be on this team and you done fuck this man's wife.
So wait, when you seen the whole thing that played out with what's my man name? The coach from Ime Udoka.
Yes.
Cause he bounced back, right? He over in Houston, he was over in Boston. But when you seen that play out, is that normal?
Yes. Yes, niggas is fucking everybody. Everybody's fucking everybody. They done fuck coaches' wives. When I found out niggas was fucking coaches' wives, that's why I was like, ooh, there ain't no limits.
But that's that's scary though, because it's like I ain't trying to mess up my money.
You're not, but it can't mess up your money. It can only mess up your relationship with the coach. Because if I'm banging you, like Dwayne Casey, when he motherfucker was banging Dwayne Casey, bitch.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Toronto?
No, in Minnesota.
Oh.
He was my coach.
Wait. Dwayne Casey, how did he end up in Toronto?
He got fired from Minnesota.
Because he went from Toronto here.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no way, Rashad.
Yeah.
No way.
Absolutely. But that ain't the only one. Jamal Mosley, his chick, they got him for the Magic, coach for the Magic right now.
No way.
Got him. They snipers. That's the thing that I be trying to tell y'all. Like, when you listening to these red pills, fresh and fist, all these guys talking about what you got to do, and man, listen, y'all being set up because it don't matter.
Is what they bought.
The bread speak, money talk, bullshit walk, boy. At the front door, what's up? You want some of this high class dick, bitch? What's up? You want some of this high class, man? Paul Pierce said some of the coldest shit ever. We all in the room. Well, it wasn't me. I wasn't there. I'm not gonna say that we all. I was told the story that they was all in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Pierce comes in and there's a bunch of girls in there. He said, "Hey man, fuck y'all in here doing? Oh man, which one of y'all bitches want to fuck with a $20 million a year nigga?" That's not fair.
Oh,
That's not fair.
Oh
so
my
think about
God.
now in 2023. How them young niggas coming in getting 30, 40
they
million a year.
Yo, I seen Damian Lillard's contract.
Come
I
on,
said,
man.
mother.
Two
And then right after that, I seen he was getting a divorce. But
Yeah, because the work call. Hey, listen, man, it's too much shit going on in the world. So you think about how the tricking is going now. I got
Yo.
40 million. I'm Jaylen Brown. I ain't got no girl. I'm in all the DMs. Where you want to go, baby, is first class, wherever. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you over to Europe and not even go with you. That's how cold of a player I would be if I'm getting this money like these niggas are getting.
That's crazy. So y'all regular dudes better keep y'all chicks from around these players.
Oh, man, y'all regular dudes just might as well, you know what I'm saying, chalk it up, man.
It ain't no hope. It
It's
seems like it ain't no hope,
$12.99
bro.
on OnlyFans, man. It's 250. You pick one, go to the back room, man. And we've been telling y'all this for a long time that these chicks is gonna switch it up, and they done switched it up to the point where you gotta date them to get some pussy now. You can't just go out here and just get some. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad ones, not the regular ones, but the bad ones. You gotta go court them. You gotta take them there. It costs about $500. And that's just that's a one-arm hug.
Yeah.
That's getting a one-armed hug.
So these chicks, right? When y'all go to a city, do y'all already know what hotel that y'all staying in before?
Absolutely.
Way before? How far in advance do y'all know?
Shit, the
before
whole
you get there?
season. The season.
Oh, so you know where you staying?
We
before?
know where we stay in every city.
Really?
Absolutely. And it's probably been booked pre-booked for the years to come based on the team and their history with the hotel.
Yeah.
So pretty much every year we stay at the same hotels.
So they already know where y'all gonna be at before y'all get there.
100%. We already made plans. That's why when we on the flight and they bullshitting with the luggage and they trying to take, hey man, don't stall us. Don't stall us, man. We got bitches waiting in the lobby right now.
Oh,
Limos
man.
ready. We don't even put our bags in our room. We drop them off at the front of the hotel.
What about if y'all at the game and can y'all see or are y'all paying attention to the different women that's in the arena?
What? Snipers.
Y'all paying attention
We
to them in the arena?
coldest snipers ever. So meaning if you at the game with your girl and you go to the bathroom and we see she by herself, by the time you get back, we might have her number.
How?
Ball boy. Go get her. You see her right there? Yeah. No. Right there. Yeah. Her. Get her. Yeah. Send her the number. Yeah. I got you. Oh yeah. That's how it happens when you all of a sudden thinking, man, my baby, she want to go to some concert or something. She ain't go to no concert. She out of town, boy. You got to be careful. And it's social media now. It's Snapchat. It's hidden invisible DMs. It's you don't open up the picture all the way. It'll disappear. Like, boy, what? It's lethal.
That's crazy.
It's lethal. We don't got a chance, man. When Drake is in DMs for little girls in Wisconsin and chicks that ain't never been nowhere, and he go in it, like you said, what happens after that?
Yeah.
You can't go down after Drake been in your DM. They don't even answer the DM no more. They be like, hey, I got about 72 niggas in my DM. I ain't even looked at. This is a regular bitch. She don't even got a job. It's oversaturated, and I wish we could get on these pods and talk this real shit. They need to all book a real nigga. Let me talk this shit with y'all, cause I'm telling y'all right now that y'all got it fucked up. These chicks want the buff, biff, money making. They want it, but they don't, because it's a insecurity side with that too. Cause we get what we get, and they want to clamp us down. They want us to be the bread. They want us to be the husband.
So is these chicks a lot of these different types of groupies, right? Because it's different types, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Are they trying to get y'all to wife them up, or do they just know that they just for the night?
Oh,
which one? Like
the wife? Oh no,
they all trying to get wiped up.
Oh man, this legendary conversation I had with Wayne. We was good friends when I first got in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were in Detroit. To be crazy, was having a conversation. He was here. He booked the show here, and we always should talk about they groupies compared to our groupies.
The rappers groupies versus the NBA. Yeah.
He's like, man, y'all got all the bitches, man. Y'all got all the. I'm like, what you mean, nigga? We just left your show.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, but them bitches are gob slob. They slobbers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, man. We just fuck them and get them out of the way. But y'all, them bitches, they want to marry y'all. They want to marry y'all. That's different, because they got to behave different now to be able to even be considered to be married to y'all.
Yeah.
So now what happens is they meet a nigga like me and they get all.
Mm-hmm.
The back gets straight. But last night they was just on the floor. Right? With the homie.
Yeah.
The homie tell us, hey man, hey, she gets nasty. So you like, yo, I'm trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't do that. Oh, I didn't do that. Amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm the prize.
Yeah.
And when you the prize, they get to tightening up. They act right. They act like ladies at that point. But we already know your track record.
So what's the point of even getting married?
There's no point right now. It's completely been abolished, erased. We trying to hold on to it as black people, because that's the one thing we seen early on that helped us as a family unit.
Yeah.
But the family unit has been dismantled completely. And all men want is a little bit of peace and appreciation when it comes to what we do. And we don't want to be lied to. We don't want to be used, and we want to be respected. So when this respect goes out the door, when you want to be an independent woman, you want to get this shit on your own, do it, because now you can disrespect a man who's not doing what you want to be done for you. So when a man is being disrespected based on what he has or not have, and he working hard for it, it's like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Why would I want to be with a bitch who's gonna divorce me in 2 years anyway?
That's insane, bro. That's crazy. What's the wildest city? Or what is the city that most NBA players or you used to look forward to going to?
Miami.
Always Miami?
Different world. Unicorn City. Unicorn in Toronto.
Toronto? Why Toronto?
The same, kind of like the same city.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really hear about Toronto as much.
We gotta get some players up there. You gotta get you some player friends and be like, hey man, you been to Toronto? Hey man,
I ain't never heard
Carabana,
about Toronto.
The big parade they have there every year, Carabana. And Drake done turned it on his head. Now them things is coming from Vancouver. They coming from all over Canada to come to Toronto. Yeah, Ottawa. Man, let me tell you something. But that's just if you like exotics. I'm an exotic nigga.
Yeah, that's what what's her name? Miko said. That's what she said. Yeah, let's get into that. Well, before we get into that, how did you guys come together that ultimately started doing Gil's Arena? How did that start to transition into a show that y'all wound up putting together? That's absolutely phenomenal, by the way.
Man, it started with Gil, man. Used to always go to the gym, 24-hour fitness, run into each other all the time. And randomly one day he asked me, why don't you do a podcast, man? I'm like, man, I ain't you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the name that you guys. I mean, you don't need a name. I got JJ Riddick got a podcast.
Yeah.
You just as good as him. I'm like, I mean, whatever. I mean, he's like, nah, man, I want you to come to my podcast. see how you do, see how you like it. We did one little preliminary podcast, and then he came to me the next time, was like, look, starting in February, we're gonna be doing this first take type of panel type of sports show, and I want you to come up and fuck with us. You know, time to time, just come in, drop in, and
So y'all just was in the same city and just was connected.
just connected.
Yeah, that's
on
dope.
some like Gil is a real nigga though. Like
Yeah,
on
he
a
hit
lot
me
of
up in the DMs one time. He a wild boy,
He
man.
wild, man.
He a wild boy,
He
man.
wild. But we meshed because of that.
Yeah.
Because I knew how wild he was with his takes, and he knew I don't give a fuck about ruffling feathers.
So he really like that, like a wild boy in real life. Like, because the perception was obviously based off of what he was as a player, right? Because of what happened over in Washington. But then at the same time, he kind of got this like hidden legend from people that understand or pay attention to what's happening in the streets, combined with people that's fans of basketball that, he a popular partier type of guy that just like to go out and have fun a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
I would say Gil's opposite. And I look at it like the Kevin Garnett type. Kev don't go out like that, right? He's not a party. He don't like that attention because of the fame. The fame warrants him to stay a little longer, take more pictures, get more, give away more. But they don't mind it. And that's why I say with Gil's a good nigga. Like, he'll go out of his way to get back to the people because he know where he came from.
Yeah.
And his outlandish comments and statements all push the line because he knows the reaction at it.
Yeah, he understands. He understands the game.
He's very smart when it comes to that, and
he's very, very smart.
But outside of that, he's a good father. Like he's a good dude. He plays the character so well that it would be hard for you to be like
he's
when
very
you meet
smart.
him. Yeah, when you meet him, you would expect the bullshit right away, but he's not gonna give you the bullshit till he's comfortable with you.
I don't expect that though. Like, I don't expect for him to be wild 100% of the time. He too smart.
Yeah,
he too smart.
And
like, even when I was getting at him a little bit because he had his take on the Pistons.
Yeah. So we tried to warn his ass about that shit.
And then that's when he hit me back, or he hit me up, and he was saying what he's saying. But he's very smart. He's very calculated, which is awesome. Which obviously that's what's needed for a lot of these different shows, right? You give your authentic take, you give your authentic thoughts, but then at the same time, you understand what works and what doesn't work, right?
Yes.
Which kind of leads me into the conversation because I did watch Miko Grimes, right? Which, all right, let me just be absolutely transparent. I didn't know really who she was until after she got on Gil's Arena, right? And then when I realized that she wasn't on there anymore, and then she was whining and complaining about what was happening at Gil's Arena, which I have my own thoughts, but I'll share those in a little bit. I went back and looked her up. She used to be kind of bad.
Oh yeah, the worst. I
looked at the previous Miko Grimes, and I was like, oh, okay.
We all didn't know nothing about that.
Dog.
So imagine me. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
When you first meet her for the first time, you didn't know really anything about her like that? Really?
At all whatsoever. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know we was having females come on the show. None of that, to be honest. Because Gil pitched it to me like it was me, him, Brandon, Kenyon. Me, him, Brandon, Kenyon, and Rashid.
Oh, I love Sheed. We used to see Sheed riding through Pontiac and that dirty ass Maybach that he used to ride in.
Yeah.
Fucking Rashid.
Yeah. I mean, those were the guys that we were supposed to start with. So when she did her first episode, it was just like, oh, this is our first guest. Cool. She was cool. She was having a party at her house or something. Gave me her number. I was supposed to come through. I didn't. But everything was cool.
Yeah, it was just some regular stuff. But you didn't know her. Like,
I had no idea.
Because she pitched, like, she was saying that she knew Gil, but obviously she also said that she knew Brandon. Okay. And then when did it start to go bad? Like, when did you realize that it started to go bad?
Immediately.
Why you say that?
Because she got into the group text for the company. So
what is it? Is it different group text? Like, is it some just for y'all?
There's only one.
Okay.
For the producers, all the talent, and the main producer.
Okay.
So we're all in one group chat. So you use that as, show notes, what we talk about on
Yeah. You
topics,
kind
stuff
of
like
just
that.
stay all in the loop.
But also just personality wise, we can show each other's personalities. We talking about certain shit. Everybody's gonna get their opinion, but we know who's landing where.
Yeah.
With certain topics,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So her first introduction to the group chat, she came in trying to change the food menu for all the food we had. She wanted some vegetarian options, right? She's like, "Oh, can we get some vegetarian options?" The first thing I said, I was like, "That sounds like some feminine energy. That sounds like feminine energy right there." And she was like, "Feminine energy, recognize feminine energy."
No, she didn't do that.
Yeah, she did. And I put my hands back. I said, "Well, damn, that's what we started on. I'm cool with you. I don't want no smoke. Hands up." I ain't say security yet, but I'm just like, "Hey, man, all right, I see how this gonna be. I'm not shooting no shots at you." From there, it was she wanted to know about my crown, and I tried to warn Brandon and a couple other guys. I'm like, "Hey, man, this crown has powers. This crown has real fucking powers."
Yeah.
And when I wear this motherfucker, people get to fucking acting the fucking fool. They don't know how to fucking control themselves. And I be damn if she first thing she said, "Why are you wearing this crown? What's the point?" And I ain't never answer. And that ticked her off. And from there it became, "Well, why you?" Well, and then she grew some type of crush on me, where she started projecting. When I was sitting next to her on the couch, she would touch my arms, and touch my legs, and touch my muscles.
Yeah,
and
in the
shit.
earlier episodes, I seen y'all on a live stream, which is interesting because y'all really do live stream.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people pre-record and then they act like it was live stream, but no, y'all really do live stream.
Yep.
So you get to see the authentic perspective, and she used to sit next to you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But she married though.
She married. I ain't know she was married because I heard some other shit, but it was. Nah, I'm just saying. I thought she was divorced.
Oh.
So in the midst of all of that, it was like that she was doing certain shit that you don't do as no married woman to no nigga you don't know. Because if I was on that type of time, I'd have smashed her face. I would have.
Yeah.
But I'm not on that type of time.
Yeah, you just chilling.
Just chilling. So it started to escalate more and more to her like poking at me. Out of all the people in the chat, I'm like, she poking at. Why she keep poking at me?
Mm.
Now at this point, I'm asking for security because she's saying some real vile shit, dry dick, and you don't get no pussy, and like this is in the group chat with the producers. And I'm like, hey man, security, what is going on?
Yeah.
Nobody gonna say nothing, and it just carried over and carried over and carried over. Up until that one epic episode, everybody was pretty much blaming me for attacking her and all this, but it was a.
Do you think though? Let me back up for a minute. Do you think, because I kind of had a conversation with Lamar Odom, right? And I was asking him about women playing certain roles within the league, even reporters in the locker room and all of that other type of stuff, right? Because obviously, Malika Andrews and all of that other stuff, right? Do you think that women are even built in a lot of instances, most of them, to even be in a group chat, let alone to be on the set with certain guys, considering that y'all have to change y'all behavior so much to even be able to accommodate them for being there? Because like the way that me and you may joke, right? We may be kicking it and we may be joking and we may shoot the shit or whatever and be talking about some hoes or whatever, but then you had this chick over here that may get offended, and then you got to change the whole vibe of it, which then changes the whole show.
Yep.
Because you try to accommodate their feelings. Do you think that a lot of these women are that they even should be in the room in a way?
Well, you don't want to denounce the opportunity for conversation, right? Because that is a conversational piece for females to be a part of that. But like you said, emotionally, can you handle your emotions enough to know that when fellas are around and this is a man cave and we're talking about women, we're going to talk about it at our discretion.
Right. Because see, what she said, even what she tried to say was offensive, whether it was true or not, it really didn't make no difference to me, because just like me and you was just a second ago talking about the word, right? That ain't offensive to it. Ain't offensive to my chick because she cracking up like, yeah, that's true, time, right?
Right.
But that ain't offensive because that's how dudes talk when they ain't got to worry about being PC, right? But the way that she kind of described it was like, oh, he was talking about being with these hoes or whatever like that. I don't really understand what the problem is.
There ain't no problem.
Because I would have started laughing.
She's capping, first of all.
Ah.
First and foremost, there's a lot of capping that she did in both of them interviews
Yeah.
where she was just talking crazy. Like she's trying to save herself and using this black woman victimhood shit that was just like,
Yeah.
yo, like if anything, if I'm gonna come into a group chat and I'm gonna talk about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, it's gonna be a joke.
Yeah.
I'm a funny motherfucker. I consider myself funny
Yeah, I
first.
mean, from the very minute that I met you, we was just cracking up and kind of laughing.
And so I ain't even thinking like, oh, you taking me serious because I'm talking about, yeah, man, I was just my bad. I was just a little late, man.
Yeah, it's a
you know what I'm
joke.
saying? So for her to take that and run with it and be like, oh, he's always in the group chat saying this, then telling everybody that the producers had to tell me to stop and all that. Never. A million years. Like, so for her to put it all on me and everyone to allow it to look like it's all my fault, I'm this misogynistic, da 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 da. I really honestly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But for the sake of conversations, it's like, don't cap on my name to give yourself an advantage when you lost your seat anyway. I beat you out fair and square, so you ain't got to start using these little tactics. Because there was only one seat left on the show. One seat, it was between me and her.
I honestly, I think that I'm a pretty good judge of character, or at least of being able to evaluate somebody and their ability to hold a conversation. Just from having conversations with you from the very beginning all the way up until now, you're a really intelligent guy.
Appreciate that.
So why she tried to make you out to be like some kind of imbecile?
Unbelievable. Low IQ.
Yeah, that's what she said.
When I've been doing this shit all my life, basketball, the circles that I've been in, bro.
I don't even know if you can become an NBA player being low IQ.
Man, you can't be a low IQ player, go to North Carolina. Be all McDonald's All-American, Parade All-American.
Yeah.
Top pick. Like, really study the game. Why would I ever say that Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time if I'm not an IQ guy?
Yeah.
That's an IQ guy.
Yeah.
That's not a dumbed down guy. Or do it like this. Boop, boop, boop. So what happens is everybody seems to relay my takes as being so terrible, so bad, so this. But what they do is they challenge your narrative. They challenge your perspective. Do you know what you're talking about? Or if you don't, then you're not going to know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because I know what I'm talking about. And everyone who knows what I'm talking about is going to think about agreeing or disagreeing with me. That makes it a captivating take because I don't need nobody to agree or disagree. I just need us to have the conversation.
Well, it's also part entertainment too, right? So if everybody is in agreement for one specific thing, if I'm the producers, I'm not looking for everybody to have the exact same perspective.
Ever.
I'm looking for people that have a different take or a different perspective or come from a different background, that understand the game differently or played a different position, that then meshes, that creates the dynamic that makes the show awesome, right? So it doesn't necessarily...
It furthers the conversation.
Right. So I don't know why she threw the ad hominem attacks and said that, oh, he was dumb or whatever. I didn't like him from the very beginning. I don't understand that.
I do.
That makes no sense to me.
I do, because she has to attack my character at this point. The one thing I had above her was a crown. So that's a gimmick, right? So she had to bring out Titty Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So that kind of...
Even when she did her interview, she...
Right. But it's fair. It's
Yeah.
fair game, and I get it.
It's a
because
prop.
you got to have a prop. I got a prop. All right, now we're on even prop status. Now my takes are killing because my takes are unpopular opinions. So now I'm on this side with her because I'm always against Gil, and me and Gil are arguing.
Well,
so
I didn't watch the show for her. She was just kind of like eye candy,
yeah,
so to speak.
yeah.
I mean, I've never really like watched the show to hear her take. Now, if she give I'm gonna be fair though. If she gives a good take, or she says something that may go viral, be popular, then that's dope too. But I didn't watch it for her insight because I didn't even know who she was.
Nobody did really.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not checking to see what her opinion is on basketball because I don't know who you are, and I don't even know why they got you on the couch, to be honest with you.
Well,
outside of the eye candy.
I think that she could have been groomed to be like the female Stephen A.
Yeah.
Where regardless of her points, it's coming from a moderator perspective, which is the middle person that has, it's going to be the icebreaker between the debates. But she didn't want to play herself that way. She wanted to be one of the guys. She wanted to be on the couch.
But that's not why she there. That's not why we watch it.
So for her, she didn't know where she was to be placed inside of our ecosystem. And from all of the conversations she's been having is that she thought she was one of the main people. And when I talk to the producers, I go back and say, man, she forced herself into the situations that we were doing because she's a woman and you can't say no to a woman that's by herself.
Yeah, but from her takes, it seems like she was, even the way that she described it, and we always know it gets slanted based off of how it's described from one perspective. It seemed like they was trying to tiptoe around her, considering she was talking about lawyers and all of
Yes.
this other type of stuff.
Nasty.
What is that?
That shit got so nasty to the point where that's when they were saying that they had to tell me and Brandon not to come to set because she started to do that. And we knew this is what's the crazy part. I was warning them the whole time from the beginning. So it should have never gotten this far because I had warned them. So for everything to come out and we have to address it, I'm like, yo, at some point we're gonna have to address it because she's not gonna be comfortable knowing that she lost a seat on the show to me. One, two, knowing that how close she could have been to being a team player, but then also jeopardizing her friendship with Gil, who don't give a fuck about nothing. He'll slice your ass up once you go on the other side. So she fucked not only our 3-year deal up, my own personal deal, but she tried to take me out. I ain't never do nothing to this chick. I don't know her like that.
I don't know why she had
at
it
all.
against you, but
Well-
the majority of what she was saying was really against Gil and Brandon, though.
Yeah, because she had to pivot because it's too much receipts proving that I ain't had nothing to do with it. The
Yeah.
group chat show like McCants was the victim.
Yeah.
And the fact that they keep calling me by my last name, making me call me by my last name, I don't like that shit. but it's like they're like, yeah, man, you Rashad was the one asking for security. You was the one bullying him, and it's like, nah, he wasn't bullying me. I was just being professional.
Yeah.
I'm in a professional element where I know ethics mean everything.
Yeah.
So I can't be in here, and this is something I need. I ain't no millionaire like the rest of y'all niggas sitting in here. I need this. This bitch trying to take this bread out of my money.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to turn up because I don't want to show the side of me that people always complain about. Oh man, he crazy. He this, he that. It's like, I don't.
No, it sound like it. Look, honestly, from the optics, it just sound like you just chill. You
Chill.
joke, you have fun, you chill. I don't really understand it.
Motherfuckers come at me every day. It was coming from whether it's the Gil shit, whether it's Kenyan shit, whatever it is, everybody on me, right? And I love it because I'm built for this shit. I've been prepared. God threw me in the den with the lion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared for it. So I think it affects them more than it affects me, knowing that I don't respond the way they think I'm gonna respond, and I'm still here. And I cherish the opportunity for the challenge of competing with whoever want to compete with me. If we're gonna debate, let's debate. Let's go. Fuck it. But don't throw me under the bus.
Is it different from a content creation perspective? Like, what's the differences in dealing with when you think about basketball players and all of the, especially in the social media era, as far as the things that they got to deal with, the fans, the criticisms, the pundits on TV, saying what they like or don't like or whatever, and then you also take into consideration what's going on social media. Is it a huge difference for you?
I try to stay out of all of it because social media plays a part based on how involved you are in it. And for one, I don't watch the news. I don't really watch TV too much. And even for the social media part, you try to find out what's important and what's necessary for you to keep going. So I try to find those niches of what's important to pay attention to. All right, if we're watching sports, if I'm working in sports, I need to be in tuned in the sports world 100%.
Yeah.
And I need to stay out of the little things that is not going to be conversation worthy. And that's why I'm looking at podcasts like yours that can keep you up to date with what's really going on with certain people so the conversation can be pushed the right way.
Yeah.
So you know, or you sound at least that you know what you're talking about. You're in the know with the culture and how everything's being pushed a certain way. And I think that's the advantage for anybody who got they nose down to the ground and they're really trying to find out where everything is. And I think that's the most important thing for me is trying to stay relevant because I've been in so many different industries that I can talk relationships, I can talk tech, I can talk money, I can talk poverty, I can talk charities, I can talk products and advertising and graphic design and just being privy to a lot of different things help you connect with people. And I think that's the biggest thing with social media is trying to connect with an audience.
It's interesting because speaking about the keeping your nose down to it, you inherently have knowledge just from your whole lifetime being immersed in the game, right? You just seem like you love the game, and all of y'all that talk on Gills Arena seem like y'all love the game.
Yeah.
But you still got to kind of stay up to date or up to speed of what's currently happening within the league, right? You got to pay attention to the draft or
Yep.
who's doing what in the league and stuff like that. How has the game evolved when you look at the game today? Because honestly, I don't even care about her. Like I ain't even really checking. You said your piece. We all know what it is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
We
for
know how
sure.
it is. We seen how it is because we know how it play out in real life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us have been there.
Yeah.
But going back to the game, how has it changed or evolved since you've been there as far as how you see things playing out today?
It has become less about being a student of the game and more about being a money maker.
Yeah, I could see that too.
That's what's really, really fucked
I'm
up.
kind
the
of
game.
falling out of love with the game.
Me too.
Watching it, bro.
Me too.
I
And
genuinely am falling out of love with watching it.
it's unfortunate because my dad feels the same way. My dad used to be a big time avid Knicks fan,
Yeah.
Georgetown fan,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't even watch this motherfucking shit no more, man. Fuck these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers soft.
Yeah.
Motherfucking punks. And you can see it because when we talk about the game we grew up loving so much, it has lost its character,
Yeah.
its personality. I talk about that a lot in my small circles. Is when you had Charles Oakley, you had Dennis Rodman,
Yep.
Charles Barkley.
Worm.
These are that's a character,
Yep.
like a superhero, like a comic book character. And we lost out on that. Like Dwight Howard probably was our last character.
I feel like Dwight has gotten robbed. His legacy is supposed to be, man, ain't no way in the world he's not supposed to be in the top 75.
No way.
No way in the
No way.
world that Dwight Howard is not supposed to be in the top
Bias or
75.
not, how you feel, whatever, he is one of the greatest basketball players to ever lace him up.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
I don't understand how he not in the top 75, but I'm
But go back to the game though. Go back to the game. When you look at Dwight Howard and how he played and his character was, it was going against the grain of where all the characters had came
But they
from.
love Dwight.
And
They love the whole Superman and him versus Nate Robinson and all
It
of that
looked
other
that
stuff.
way from outside, but the players that were disgruntled inside were the older players like Shaq.
Yeah, that is
You know what
true.
I'm saying? They didn't
He
buy.
ain't even like the nickname that he was using for Superman.
Exactly. So if you look at how the older players then didn't like how we were doing shit then,
Yeah.
and then now we don't like the way they're doing shit now,
Mhm.
it's because there is no mentorship. Charles Barkley and Shaq wasn't going to Dwight Howard and telling him and showing him the ropes.
But y'all show love though.
We do. We
Y'all
do.
show a lot of
I know
love.
I do. I respect the old school because this is where I fucking fostered my skills.
Yeah.
So when you don't pay homage to the game, you're going to see the game the way it is now.
Yeah.
They don't look like they know how to play.
It don't, man.
What we doing?
I'm not impressed, bro.
What we doing? Like, we got a lot of time. Like Detroit. Y'all got so much talent on this team.
It's insane.
insane.
And we got one of the youngest teams in the league.
Bro, they're so good.
I don't know what the hell is happening right now.
But Monty
And then
got
he the highest paid
credit.
coach in the
He
league.
got credit for doing something in Phoenix that wasn't of his doing.
That's what it's looking like.
Now, it's always
literally
gonna
what
be.
it's
gonna
playing
be
out
that.
like.
It's gonna be that. And up until the point where one of these young players have a breakout year is when he's gonna either get credit or they're gonna get him out here to get another established coach in to try to bring the value up of the franchise. But
Wasn't he supposed to be the one that they did that for when they moved Dwayne Casey out when they
yes,
tanked?
they were supposed to do that for him because he didn't look like the guy that dealt with young players.
Yeah.
Right? He was the mid-level guy with the mid players.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a younger team. He ended up taking over another build me up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good for any established coach to build
Man,
me up.
I am honestly thinking about not even renewing next year, bro.
I think you should stay with it. I think, look, this year right here is going to be a statement
Not
year
after
for
you
Detroit.
told me about how they by the ball boys is picking off the chicks out there in the streets. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's no way, dog. When I go to the games now, I'm looking at it differently.
You have to.
I'm looking at it differently, bro. I don't see it the same way no more.
You gotta watch them. You gotta watch
now
them.
that you done removed the veil from my eyes. Ain't nothing about the game when you at the league no more.
No.
Especially when you down that close.
Listen, and if you ain't playing, there's at least 6 niggas ain't playing on like every night. Ain't playing.
They at the end of the bench.
We planning. They're planning.
God, man.
Where we going tonight? And they got their phones on the bench now too. We couldn't have our phones on the bench.
Wait, they got their phones on the bench?
They got. If you not playing, niggas got their phone on the bench. They texting. Hey man, hey ball boy, you see that? Yeah, her. I got 100 for you. Don't even worry. Don't even worry. I might even take you to the dinner with it, man. What we doing tonight?
I don't see it the same, bro.
What we doing tonight? Don't let it be go to the club and you with your girl and you think, Niggas so bold now they'll send a drink to your girl while you with her.
Jesus Christ, bro. They can't, dog. It's gonna be rough out here.
It's already rough.
It's a blood sport out here.
What you mean? Niggas is out here living on the streets over this shit. Niggas got kicked out. Niggas is getting kicked out because they depending on that couch and that what you call it? I call it dick money, which is rent money. Yeah. Dick money. Hey, you can pay that dick money every month and make sure you got your spot in the house. Now it's in jeopardy now, my nigga. The work got options. The work ain't never had no options before. The work got options to decide where they want to work. I don't want to work with you. You ain't paying enough.
Oh,
I don't want to work with you.
Crazy.
You's a bad boss.
And you know what the funniest part about it is? I know some of these type of chicks, bro. Like in real life.
Yes.
And it's funny because gosh. Because I can't say nothing without, you know what I'm saying?
Being offensive. Yeah. But think about what Drake said in Child's Play. He says, if your girl's at a basketball game, she knows one of them niggas. If she's at the game and she your girl and you not with her, she know one of them niggas. They got her tickets. Look how close she's sitting. You know how much
I know
tickets
some
cost?
chicks that be sitting down there, and it's funny because so the girl that did these paintings up there, right? She got recommended to me by a chick that be sitting down at the Detroit Lions games.
Yeah.
I say I can't even say no more.
You don't need to. You already know. You unlocked it. Pandora's box.
God, nah.
Where they at? And then these are the ones that we go after.
That's crazy.
We go after them. We go after the ones that's like, oh, she lived that lifestyle. She's gonna say yes right away. She gonna say yes right away. But the ones a little higher up, in the little nosebleed, yeah, she's a regular chick. The regular niggas don't got no chance. We ain't gotta go after them. She can't wait to come down and fuck with us. We ain't gotta beg for her. We gotta beg for them other ones now. So the marketplaces went topsy-turvy a little bit because you take a regular chick to a game now, she's lit. She not even posting on Instagram for you. She posting for them next niggas, the niggas that she's telling, all right, I'm at the game now.
Yeah.
Hey, I made it. So now the rest of you niggas that been liking my story, y'all don't got a chance now. So y'all keep liking, but I'm not answering them DMs no more. They used to entertain them conversations. Not no more. We done moved up like the Jeffersons. VIP. They in PJs now. They ain't even commercial flight. They don't even.
They find these chicks on private.
They turn down first class flights now.
No,
I don't do first class.
No,
Bitch said I jet smarter. I said, bitch, if you don't leave me alone. Oh yeah, they want sugar daddies with the sugar.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, this shit's real out here. Stop simping out here, my niggas. Find them, fuck them, and forget them, man. It's not worth it. All this marriage shit that everybody
It's
wanted.
over.
I'm sorry.
It's over,
I'm
bro.
sorry, because we don't know what a wife look like no more.
Yep.
And then let's just say somebody like you or somebody that's established, that's actually got real love,
Mhm.
right? A real story that we could be inspired by and be like, yo, I want that kind of
Mhm.
shit that y'all got. That shit is unicorn shit, bro. That
That's
shit
why
is
they
one
keep
in a
saying
million.
that. You know what? Honestly, I say that all the time. I say, bro, I don't know, because I know too much, and I just know the nature. I don't know if I would. I would never get married again. I wouldn't. I just don't. I don't trust these chicks, bro. I don't trust none of them at all. Not one.
I would. I just couldn't get married to just one.
I break that down for me.
Just because it's like the necessity there is on your partner and what it is. It's like having, like if you have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you're raising a kid from the man's perspective, you have a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
you have to treat your woman like your daughter. You have to buy everything for her, take care of everything, make sure she's good, always watch her, give her the attention. There can't be moments where you're without your daughter because she'll feel neglected.
The problem though is that no, and I get that, and I 100% agree. The problem though is that where you find a chick that's worthy of being a wife though.
Exactly. That's it.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And then we
I
can
don't
you see how
trust
we
it.
identify that so
Yeah.
quick. It's the easiest things, like you not acting like a wife.
Yeah,
So
bro.
then what's the reference? Where do I go to find out how to act like a wife? You
That's
can't
crazy.
say go back to your mom, right? You can't say go back to your auntie or your grandma. Who you gonna reference in the public to be like, you should be more like her? Because if they do that, they not being more like them.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So it's like, baby girl, if you wasn't born for this wife life, then what life is it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Streets, the street life. Because that's learned behavior that's
Yep.
happening right now. The
100%.
music is teaching you, pop that pussy.
Yep.
OnlyFans it, baby girl. You got a little booty. If you don't, put some yoga pants on. It'll shape it up for you. Throw that little camel toe out there.
Yeah.
They gon' listen, ladies, we gon' click on that picture.
What is it? Okay, so let me ask you one more question. What about, because I know Miami is like ground zero. Ground zero. Trust me, I'll be living there in the wintertime. LA versus Miami though. What's the difference in the women and the culture versus LA versus Miami?
Fuck.
Is it that big of a difference?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Boy, them tan lines. The Dominican, that Latin, that flavor.
So why is LA such that whole area, that environment, why is that still like a thing? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's Hollywood. It ain't even LA. It's Hollywood. It's make your dreams come true. Be an artist, an actress, a model. Come in here and go through the loops.
Yeah.
That's the only thing LA's good for. Maybe the beaches, the Malibu type shit. But everything else is superficial as fuck.
Yeah, when I go out there, it's just like, yeah, it's cool, but it's just cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's not.
It ain't what it used to be. I don't know when the last time you was really, really out in LA, but when we was doing this shit, I feel like we was the creators of what is lost in the club atmosphere now. It has disappeared, but we created this ultra electric.
Y'all messed up the game.
We did. I swear. I
Y'all
talk
messed
about
up
it
the game,
all the
bro.
time. I'm like, yo, we used to get it every single night.
Y'all messed up the game
Bottles
for
after
regular
bottles.
guys.
But we
Nah, they
incorporated
can't.
the regular guy because there was still a dance floor.
Y'all, let me tell you how y'all messed up the game. It didn't, between y'all and the rappers, because y'all was flying these chicks out.
Absolutely.
Now all of these chicks think that they supposed to get flued out.
Yeah, from
and
my space to my place.
Nah.
Yeah, that was my space.
They
08.
think that they supposed to get flued out, man. Oh man.
But see, guys, you got to understand. No, this player shit, player 1-on-1. The flight is the payment.
Yeah, for real.
If you're gonna pay
No, you
if you're
100%.
gonna pay for some pussy, you gotta understand where the payment coming from. You don't give her just the cash and say, "Here, it's mine now." No. It's a flight. You staying in my crib. We're gonna eat at least for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I'm spending a rack on you just on travel and food.
Yeah.
Like that puts mine all weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
From the moment you touch down. Ain't no questions.
Mm-hmm.
So what has happened now is that you pay the inflation. It's inflation. It's inflation. Cause she got a metric. She got data. She got data now. She got OnlyFans data. You know how many niggas is buying
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
a month at $12.99?
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That's wild.
Yeah, we behind the ball right now, fella. We ain't got no OnlyFans. Well, they got some niggas out here fucking bitches on screen for OnlyFans, but that ain't what we really wanted. We don't be wanting to do all that to get a bitch. Like, what can we do to get a chick now? We're like, oh, Rashad, you gotta make some more pictures where you got your shirt off and all this shit. And I'm like, man, I ain't Odell Beckham and them niggas. Like, baby, you got to choose wisely. You got to choose wisely. It's a chooser's fee when you're choosing me, baby. Like, hey, listen, you get right or get left. I don't give a fuck which way you go. Just get out of my way.
I'm going to shoot with you when I come out to L.A.
Got to, man.
Because I got to go and kick it with, I don't know, he in the pickle right now. Marcellus Wiley.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I'm
kind of.
That's a
good dude right there.
Yeah, he is. He a really solid dude. So, I don't know. I was supposed to go out there and shoot with him. But he probably just want to chill for a minute. I don't know. I gotta call him and hit him up and see what he's talking about.
Come through the show. I'm thinking about starting my own podcast called
I don't know why you ain't.
The Workshop.
Why not?
Cause I don't want to build up a platform like Kevin Samuels, man. Even though I taught him everything he knows, and I didn't want it to be the women bashing type of thing. I want to tell guys what it is.
I'm gonna just tell you. When you giving the game that we give and that you about to give, it's gonna be I hate women.
I know.
That's why they gonna paint you. But it's not that we hate. Nobody hate nobody. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. We love women, especially for what it is that they created for and what they do and all of that. We just giving the reality of what's really happening out, and they know they doing it. They know. They are the ones that live the life. They know, bro.
Bro, we didn't coin the word slut, hoe, and bitch.
Absolutely.
Women did.
Bro. They know.
Y'all calling y'allself this shit. We just tag along. We just be like, oh, that's a good word for that. Yeah, but you get on my nerves. Yeah.
I was talking to a chick. I was coaching her. And I told her, I said, listen, don't keep going to that spot too many times. Don't go there and don't go there. I'm telling you, you're going to get picked off.
Oh, wow.
All day long.
Wow, picked off.
Seriously. Real talk. But, you know.
Interception.
I don't care. You know, it don't matter. They can do whatever they want to do to me. You know, I don't really care.
But that's how it be. If you're going to get picked off, baby, you got to know you in the game. You in the game.
But she not going to unsee what she saw, though.
She can't. That's the best part about it because now she know what she want. But then again, for me, I always tell guys, they never know what they truly want, bro.
Yeah.
They know what they like. They know what they like until they get it, and then they like, I don't like it no more. And then it's on to this is what's happening right now. It was never happening like that. A woman could get what she wanted and keep it as something she wanted for her rest of her life.
I think you should, bro. I think you should have it and just get because nobody really talking about it from the perspective of a person that really lived it like that.
Real shit, bro.
Honestly, I think that you should.
I'm definitely, see, for me, it's always been
like
audience.
I wouldn't even wait. I would do it immediately.
Audience though, like for me, I've been trying to be on a platform like this.
Yeah.
That we could talk our shit, but I give the perspective on the work, right? The groupies, because that's what the insinuation with females are going to be like. So, and we get this on set too. They be like, so what does the work mean exactly? Like, what is the criteria of the work? It's like, baby, if you don't know what the work is, you might not be some work. You know what I'm saying? But the work, no. So then when I tell them that work is just replacing the word groupie. Yeah. Because you didn't have no problem with the word groupie. Yeah. You knew whether you was one or you wasn't. So now when I say the word work, you don't know where you place. Oh, am I some work? Bitch, you some work. You 100% some work. Oh, you thirsty? If you thirsty for attention, you some fucking work. And men can be work too. And that's the other thing with the pod that I'm going to be presenting is showing who the work is for the men.
When you doing it? When you starting it?
Shit, I'm going to start at the top of the year.
I bet.
January 1.
I'm checking for it.
January 1, the workshop.
I'm checking for it.
The workshop.
Anything else you want to share with the people before we get up out of here?
Man,
I appreciate you for coming through, bro.
Listen, this is an honor for me, man. Like I said, you got Charleston, my man, Charleston White.
Yeah,
I used to talk to Charleston in motherfucking COVID, during COVID. I had a couple conversations with that nigga before he really, really blew up, man.
That's my guy, man. I
fuck with that nigga 100,000%. Shout out to Charleston White. Shout out to Lamar Odom, man. Yeah. Another one of the OGs.
I had Brittany on here. Brittany Renner.
Brittany, slide it. Yeah, slide it this way. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I teach you right. I treat you right. I treat you right. And you
Yeah.
fine too. You get nasty. I get nasty. We get nasty.
She
Listen.
really looked like that in real life.
But
too.
she's smart as fuck too.
She's smart.
She's devalued fucking with the wrong niggas for too long.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between these new NBA niggas and the former players. We understood what we was really in it for.
Mm-hmm.
These young niggas like PJ and them, they just get in there. Oh, I'm gonna just get her knocked up in this.
yeah.
Like, bro, you just got one of the gems, and you just dropped that bitch off like she was some motherfucking like a piece of coal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we back here like, yo, he just dropped Brittany Renner off like she was not 300 million strong.
Is she still like a target? Would she still be a target?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because the older ones, they lost their mojo. They lost their steam, but they still got it. And the young niggas, they either want them to smash or they want them for clout. So these older women, they don't understand where the love is going to come from because they've been pushed into this market of promiscuity.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like you look at Britney, it's like, oh, she's known for being a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
But she still has this feminine, nurturing way about her that's gonna get lost in the sauce if she don't get with a nigga that can really appreciate it. And a lot of them females that have went through the whole, the Melissa Forrest, Vita Guerreras, all of the models are still single. How?
The Instagram chicks before the Instagram
yeah.
chicks.
So how would you still be saying you so bad, you so this, you so that? Something wrong with that pussy or something? What's wrong with that pussy? Well, nigga don't want to grab onto that because I got regular Jones that I can't go 2 days without.
Yeah.
That thing nice.
Yeah.
So how you give you if it's good and you got the good connection and chemistry to be with a real one,
yeah,
you ain't going nowhere. Ain't no way I'm replacing you. So chicks like Brittany, they and like a Amber Rose and they damaged goods. It's like, nah, they just need another hoe. They just need to be with a nigga that understand what they was going through.
Yeah,
bitch, I was running through them too. High five, baby. High five, baby. Let's go to the Papa shot. Yeah, we gonna be good. But you know how I go, bro.
Yep. Well, listen, y'all. I love y'all. Listen, this is what I know for sure. Just like I promised to when me and Charleston was cooking, I promise y'all I'm gonna have Rashad on here more than once or twice, 3 times, all of that, bro. Honestly, in real life, man, I really do appreciate you for pulling up, bro. Thank you, man.
You one of the coldest in the game, my nigga. When I got the DM, my nigga, I was like,
yeah.
I sent it to my homeboy. I was like, hey, bro, ain't no way I just got this DM. He's like, yo, that's my nigga right there.
And anything you need here on this side, you got it. Everything, bro.
That's love, my nigga. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody tune the fuck in.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
AD in the building.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Let's go.